Hello, and welcome to the library at the National Ranching Heritage Center. I was reading J. Everett Haley's edition of the Diary of Michael Erskine. In this compilation of Erskine's journals, there's a passage that mentions a building that has special meaning to the National Ranching Heritage Center. It's El Capote Cabin. This simple, Spartan structure has an interesting past and was owned by many important and influential people. In the 1840s, Texas and the United States experienced profound changes that transformed them. The small, humble log cabin named El Capote was part of these events, and its fate was shaped by them. El Capote was built on a land grant purchased by Joseph de la Baume, who later changed his personal name to Jose. De la Baume was the son of a count, Count de la Baume of Avignon, France, and came to North America during the Revolutionary War. Many years later, he moved to Mexico to settle in the state of Coahuila y Texas. We know that de la Baume bought the property in 1834, but no one is certain when El Capote Cabin was built or who first occupied it. We do know that the land was not cleared, nor did it have any improvements when he bought it. De la Baume did not have long, however, to enjoy his newly purchased land. He died in 1834. The property then passed to French Smith, who's the first person for whom we have a definite record of occupying the property. It is possible that he built the cabin, but there's no conclusive proof that he did so. That being said, there is one thread of evidence that may tie Smith with structures on the land. Michael Erskine obtained the property from Smith in 1845, the year Texas became a state, and the deed of relinquishment listed the property and all improvements on the land, including some structures. In 1846, the year of the Mexican War, El Capote property was divided when Guadalupe County was created in the division of Gonzales County. The eastern line of the newly created county ran through the El Capote farmland. The cabin itself was on the Guadalupe side of the line. In 1878, the bulk of Erskine's holdings went to an investment syndicate of three men: Thomas Pierce, George Stone, and Daniel Tyler. When Daniel Tyler died, his share was subdivided among the family members of Edith Kermit Carew, who became the wife of Theodore Roosevelt. During the period from 1887 to 1897, the Roosevelts sold their share of the property to Alexander and Mary L. Moore. The Moores sold the property to Judge Leroy Gilbert Denman, a prominent attorney and civic leader in Guadalupe County. The last known inhabitant of El Capote Cabin was Noble Collins, an African-American sharecropper who lived in the cabin until the mid-1930s. Let's take a stroll back to the 1830s and visit El Capote and meet one of its past inhabitants.
Many of our cabins on the Texas Republic frontier were sparse and rustic with only the items necessary for daily life. The walls were bare timber daubed with mud and grass to seal out the weather. Candles and candle lanterns were used to light them at night, but we relied on natural light during the day. During that time, we did most of our own food gathering. Wild game was plentiful, with bears, deer, and small game, among other things. We carefully checked our equipment before the hunt so that important things aren't left behind. We have to make sure we have plenty of shot for the game we're after. I make sure it all goes back into the bag because sometimes lead and lead shot can be hard to come by and we don't want to waste any. Gotta tie it up nice and snug. A wad of tow is on hand for wiping out the barrels after shooting. The shooting bag holds the ammunition and tools needed for the shotgun, including extra percussion caps, wadding, a mainspring vise, and screwdrivers in case I have to make repairs while I'm out. Once we pack the shooting bag, we're almost ready. We check the powder horn to make sure it's full. The double-barrel shotgun is pretty common on the early Texas frontier. They're inexpensive and easy to use for most kinds of wild game or for self-defense. It'll take loose shot, solid round ball, or a combination of both. Today, we hope to bag a deer or maybe some rabbits or a turkey. My shooting bag and powder horn hang together on my left side. My haversack has food or other things that I need during the day. The gourd canteen holds my water supply. They both hang on my right to balance the weight of all my equipment. Finally, I grab my hat and sling my shotgun over my shoulder. And now I'm ready to go. The cabins were made of logs hewn square using an axe and an adze. The hewing marks in this cabin are still visible. They're pretty deep, and they'll be around for a long time. The Capote Cabin is built of elm logs, and the roof shingles are cedar. This is pretty typical of log cabins of early Texas days. Today I'm wearing a homespun shirt, narrow fall trousers, and a woolen vest. A vest or a coat worn over my shirt is considered proper clothing for a man in public unless he's doing hard manual labor. The wide straw hat will give my head plenty of shade in the hot Texas sun. The chimney on the cabin is called the mud cat style because of the mud daubing used to seal it. Sometimes the logs burn on the inside of the chimney and they have to be replaced. Let's hope that won't happen when I cook those rabbits I bring home tonight. I hope it's not an all-day hunt. I'm getting hungry.